What if one night, something unexpected happened that led to a child being conceived? Would she be ready to care for it and raise it alone? And what if she meets the man she spent that night with, only to find out he's already in a relationship? Those questions weighed heavily on Bella's mind as she walked along the side of the road, shivering under the light drizzle. She was 3 months pregnant, and her aunt had just kicked her out of the house after discovering her condition. She had nowhere else to go. No friends, no family. Her parents had passed years ago. She had no one to turn to. A wave of exhaustion washed over her as she trudged through the dark, wet streets. She felt like giving up. Too many things had gone wrong. Her thoughts drifted back to the argument with her aunt earlier that day when everything fell apart. "Bella!" her aunt screamed from the hallway as Bella was folding clothes in her bedroom. Startled, Bella rushed out. "What is it, Aunt Linda?" she asked, concerned. Before she could say another word, a sharp slap landed across her face. "You're pregnant?" Aunt Linda shouted, holding up a pregnancy test Bella thought she had already thrown away. Bella froze, heart racing. How did that test get into her aunt's hands? She was sure she had gotten rid of it. I didn't mean to," Bella stammered, barely able to breathe. "You already got yourself knocked up?" her cousin Ivy said mockingly from the doorway, smirking. Bella realized, judging by Ivy's expression, that she must have been the one who handed the test to their aunt. "What the hell were you thinking, Bella? You got pregnant just like that?" Aunt Linda snapped. "We can barely afford food, and here you are acting like some street girl." Bella's hands instinctively wrapped around her stomach, tears falling uncontrollably. "I didn't mean to, Auntie. I don't even know how it happened. I was just—" Another slap cut her off. "You're just like your mother, cheap and shameless," her aunt roared. "Get out of my house. You're useless, and now, on top of everything, you go get pregnant like a damn fool." Bella begged her aunt not to do this, but it was no use. Her pleas were ignored. She was thrown out with nothing but the clothes on her back. She couldn't believe it. The person who raised her, her own blood, had turned her away without mercy. It hurt worse than any slap. Some people had families who supported them, even when they made mistakes. Bella? She was discarded like trash. "This world is so damn unfair," she whispered through tears, walking in the cold rain. "I just wanted to be happy." Her hand rested gently on her stomach. "I'm not sorry you're growing inside me," she whispered to the baby. "But how will I raise you now that I have nothing?" She sat under a covered alleyway near a local diner. It had been nearly a month since she was kicked out. Most nights she didn't eat. She didn't sleep well either. Her stomach had begun to show, and her body ached from the concrete she often slept on. That night, Bella was digging through the trash behind the diner, eating leftover fries someone hadn't finished, when a woman approached her. The woman smiled kindly. Bella immediately looked up, surprised. "Do you need something?" Bella asked cautiously, still chewing her food. "Don't eat that, honey," the woman said gently. "I brought you something warm." She handed Bella a wrapped meal from inside the restaurant. Bella stared at the food, stunned. "Can I sit and talk to you?" the woman asked. Bella nodded, wiped her mouth, and opened the wrapper. The meal was warm and smelled like grilled chicken. She hadn't eaten something that good in weeks. "What's your story, sweetheart?" the woman asked. "I noticed your belly. You're pregnant, right? Why are you living like this?" Bella's eyes lowered. "Yes, ma'am. I'm pregnant. When my aunt found out, she kicked me out. I've been on my own ever since." There was a long pause. The woman looked at her kindly. "That's awful. No one should have to go through that, especially not while pregnant." She handed Bella a bottle of water. "I wish I could say it wasn't my fault, but I wasn't careful that night. I don't even remember all of it," Bella said quietly. The woman looked thoughtful. "I've always wanted a daughter," she said. "But I ended up having 3 boys. It's just me and my youngest now. He's hardly home." Bella's eyes widened. "You can live with me if you want," the woman offered. "Our home's big and quiet. It could use some warmth. You wouldn't be a burden." Bella was speechless. "You don't even know me," she said. "I don't have to," the woman replied. "The first time I saw you here last week, something told me I needed to talk to you." The woman smiled and reached out, brushing a tear from Bella's cheek. "You and your baby will be safe at my home. You'll have food, a warm bed, and someone who gives a damn about you. I want to help you, Bella." Bella sniffled, staring into her kind eyes. "Why are you being so nice to me?" she asked. "I don't know," the woman said softly. "But something tells me you're the daughter I never had." Bella could see the sincerity in her eyes. "All right," she said slowly. "But only if I can help out around the house. I don't want to be a freeloader." "Of course," the woman smiled. "You can help when the baby's born. But for now you're pregnant, and pregnant women shouldn't overwork themselves." She gently placed a hand on Bella's stomach. "By the way," she added, "I'm Josephine Walker." "Nice to meet you, sweetheart." She held out her hand. Bella shook it gratefully. "Let's get you out of this rain," Josephine said. "You'll love the place. I can't wait for you to meet my children." Bella nodded, heart pounding, as she followed Josephine to her sleek black SUV. "Let's go to the mansion, Jerson," Josephine told her driver as she typed something into her phone. Bella sat in the passenger seat, stunned by Josephine's kindness. "She's so nice," Bella thought as the car moved through the quiet night. Soon, fatigue crept in. She hadn't had a good sleep in days. Before she knew it, Bella had drifted off. She woke to Josephine gently tapping her shoulder. "Hey, sweetheart, we're here," she said warmly. Bella opened her eyes and gasped. A massive mansion stood before her, glowing with light and elegance. "Come on in, the food and bath are ready," Josephine said. "Good evening, Ma'am Josephine," one of the maids greeted as she opened the door. "Everything is prepared as requested." "Thank you, Janet. Oh, and welcome Bella. She'll be staying with us from now on," Josephine said cheerfully. Meanwhile, Bella made her way into the kitchen for a glass of water. As she sipped, she suddenly heard footsteps behind her. Her heart pounded. She instinctively grabbed a frying pan, out of fear. The footsteps got closer, echoing across the dark kitchen. She waited in silence, hiding by the counter. Then a tall figure entered the room. Without hesitation, Bella stepped out and slammed the frying pan against him. "Thief! Thief! Ouch! What the thief? Are you serious right now?" the man yelled. Maids rushed in, startled by the noise. As someone flipped the light switch, Bella's eyes locked onto a man, tall, undeniably handsome. She froze. He glared at her. "Why the hell did you hit me with a pan? And who the heck are you? What are you doing in my house?" he snapped. "Mr. Kean, are you all right?" one of the maids asked. Moments later, Josephine entered. "What happened?" she asked. "Who's this girl?" "Mom, who is she? Why is she here? And why the hell did she hit me?" Kean fumed. Bella's thoughts raced. Wait, this guy, he's Josephine's son? She felt like disappearing out of sheer embarrassment. "Oh," Josephine said with a laugh. "So you've met already, in a rather unexpected way. Kean, this is Bella. She'll be staying with us. Bella, this is my youngest son, Kean." "What's she doing here?" Kean grumbled. "Is she the new maid?" "No, she's not," Josephine said firmly. "She'll be staying with me whenever you're not home. I'm tired of being alone in this huge place." "You just took her in? Just like that? Also, what's up with her stomach? Did she swallow a watermelon?" Kean scoffed. "That's not possible, sir," the maid replied, trying to stifle a laugh. Yes, sir. I swallowed a watermelon seed, and it grew in my belly. That's why it's this big, Bella replied, dryly, clearly annoyed. Are you trying to be funny? Kian shot back. That's impossible. You already know it's impossible, so why ask? Isn't it obvious I'm pregnant? She snapped, their eyes locked in a tense stare. Josephine chuckled. It was the first time someone had ever talked back to her son like that. Enough, both of you, Josephine interrupted. It's late. Kian, go to bed. And Bella, you need rest. Pregnant women shouldn't stay up. Bella nodded and turned to leave. But just as she took a step, a wave of dizziness hit her. Her head throbbed, and a memory suddenly flashed in her mind. A man's voice whispered, "You're beautiful," as he kissed her lips. "You're good at this," he said, as things escalated that night. "Bella, are you okay?" Josephine asked, snapping her out of it. Yes, ma'am. Just a little dizzy and my head hurts," Bella said. Josephine immediately called for Saya, one of the housemaids, to escort Bella to her room. Once she lay in bed, Bella pulled the blanket over herself, confused. Why did that memory pop into my head just now? And why during an argument with that rude man? He might be handsome, but he's a jerk, she thought, before shutting her eyes and drifting to sleep. Bella woke up late, having finally slept on a soft bed for the first time in weeks. She stretched and got out of bed, heading downstairs where only the maids were present. "Good morning, Ma'am," Carla greeted as she swept the floor. "Ma'am Josephine left earlier today. If you'd like to eat, just let us know and we'll prepare something." Bella smiled and nodded before walking to the kitchen to get a glass of water. As she reached for a cup, her eyes caught sight of some lychees in a bowl on the counter. Her stomach grumbled. She quickly walked over, grabbed one, and took a bite. The sweet, juicy flavor made her smile. As she continued eating, a voice suddenly shouted from behind her, "You again!" "What the hell? Why are you eating that? That's mine!" Kian stormed into the kitchen, irritation written all over his face. He snatched the lychee from her hand. "Just because my mum took you in doesn't mean everything here is yours. Why are you touching stuff that's not yours?" Tears welled up in Bella's eyes as she stared at him. Her hormones were all over the place, and it didn't take much to make her cry. Why are you crying? Now I'm the bad guy. This is your fault to begin with," Kian said, frustrated. "I'm sorry," Bella replied, voice shaking. "But could you at least let me have just one more? This is the only thing I really want to eat. It's what my baby wants," she said, as she gently rubbed her belly. "Number, you already ate 5 of them. There are only 8 left, and there's no way I'm giving you more," he snapped. "But I really want more," Bella said softly. "Just one, please." Kian ignored her and barked, "Just go. Leave." Tears rolled down Bella's cheeks. She turned and walked to the living room, defeated. What she didn't know was that Kian, now alone in the kitchen, suddenly felt a twinge of guilt. He had seen her crying and regretted yelling at her. "I'm sorry about him, Ma'am," Carla said, approaching Bella. "He just really hates when people touch his stuff. If you want, I can get you some lychees later when I go out shopping." Bella smiled faintly at Carla's kindness. She sat on the couch for nearly half an hour, watching TV. Just as she was about to stand, Kian walked in carrying a bowl filled with lychees and other fruits. Bella frowned. "Really? He brought them here just to show off and make me feel worse?" She stood up, ready to walk away. "Bella," Kian called. She turned. "Sit here," he said, tapping the spot next to him. Bella hesitated. She didn't want to, but curiosity got the better of her. She sat beside him. Kian picked up a lychee, peeled it, and handed it to her. "I'm sorry for earlier. I didn't mean to yell," he said quietly. Bella stared at the fruit in his hand, unsure whether to take it. Was this a joke? "I just don't like people messing with my things. But here, take this one. You can eat it. He placed it in her hand and began peeling another fruit. Bella was stunned by the sudden change in behavior. Keep eating. Try the apple later. It's really sweet. You'll like it, he added. Bella continued eating while they watched a movie together. Before long, she fell asleep on the couch. Kian turned to Saya. Get a blanket. She'll get cold. Saya nodded and returned with a blanket, which Kian carefully draped over Bella. As she slept, he couldn't help but stare at her peaceful face. Why does my heart keep pounding like this? He wondered. I don't even know her, but she looks so familiar. Suddenly, a voice came from behind. Looks like my brother is finally interested in girls, someone said, teasingly. Kian jumped and turned. Oh, it's you, bro. What are you doing here? Mom sent me with a ton of lychees. One of the maids told her you yelled at Bella over fruit, so she sent me to deliver these, his brother Carl said, dropping 3 bags full of lychees on the table. She's pregnant, Kian. You don't have to be so mean, Carl added. I can't help it. You know I hate it when people touch my stuff, Kian said defensively, looking away. Women are emotional, especially when they're pregnant. Try to be a little more considerate. I know Mom brought her here out of the blue, but I'm sure she had her reasons. Carl patted his brother on the shoulder. So, are you interested in her? He asked. What kind of question is that? Of course not, Kian replied, avoiding eye contact. I just feel guilty. I made her cry, and I already have a girlfriend, okay? Who? That gold digger Jane? Carl said, raising an eyebrow. You should break up with her. Stay out of my business, Kian muttered. Suit yourself. Just don't say I didn't warn you, Carl said, shrugging as he walked off, leaving Kian and Bella alone in the quiet living room. Weeks passed, and despite Kian's cold demeanor, Bella couldn't stop herself from falling for him. She was now 5 months pregnant, and today was the big day. They were about to find out the gender of her baby. Everyone was gathered in the living room for the gender reveal. The whole group had dressed according to their guesses. Josephine, Carl, and Neo wore pink. Saya and Carla were in blue, just like Bella. I really think it's a girl, Josephine said, beaming. You're glowing, Bella. I think it's a boy, Saya countered with a playful smile. Well, I think it's a girl, Josephine insisted. What about you, Bella? What do you think your baby is? Bella smiled. Either one is fine with me, but I really hope it's a boy. As she gently caressed her belly, Carla suddenly asked, By the way, Mom Bella, who's the father of your baby? The room went quiet. Bella hesitated. I don't really know who he is, she finally said. All I remember is that he was tall, handsome, and he had a tattoo on his back. It was a one-night stand? Saya asked, wide-eyed. Bella nodded. Carl leaned forward. But what if you already know who the father is? I don't think so, Bella replied, confused by his tone. Just then, the front door opened, and in walked Kian, holding hands with a woman. Kian, you're here, Carl started to say, but stopped when he saw who was with him. Jane. Carl's smile faded instantly. What's she doing here? He asked, visibly annoyed. What do you mean? I can't bring my girlfriend over? Kian shot back, then cast a glance toward Bella. Her heart sank. He has a girlfriend, she thought, biting her lip to keep from crying. Do you two want to join the game? We're about to reveal the baby's gender, she asked, forcing a smile. We'll stay in my room, Kian replied sharply, walking off with Jane. Bella's chest tightened with pain. Not only did he already have someone, but he was also constantly cold and dismissive toward her. It made her feel invisible. How rude, Neo muttered. He's just like Dad. Don't worry, Bella, Carl said, trying to cheer her up. Let's keep going. Time to cut the cake and find out the gender. Josephine handed Bella the cake knife. Bella's hands trembled with excitement and nerves. She sliced through the cake and gasped when she saw the inside. "It's blue!" Everyone clapped and cheered. "Congratulations, sweetheart! It's a baby boy!" Josephine exclaimed with joy. Even though she had hoped for a girl, she was still overjoyed. As they laughed, the door to Kian's room opened and he walked out to get some water. Just as he was about to go back, Carl spoke up. "First child, and it's a boy. Whoever the father is, he really scored." Everyone laughed, but then they all froze. The other half of the cake was pink. "Wait, why is there pink in here too?" Josephine asked, puzzled. Did the bakery mess up? "Maybe it's half boy, half girl," Neo joked. Carl smacked his head. "Seriously?" Bella chuckled at Neo's ridiculous theory. "Maybe the baby's gay," Saya chimed in teasingly. "What kind of logic is that?" Carla said, exasperated. Josephine stood up and clapped her hands. "It's obvious. Bella's having twins, a boy and a girl." Cheers broke out all over the room. "That's why her belly looked big even at 2 months," Carl exclaimed. "Guess that means Mom and I win our bet." They all laughed, full of joy. Bella stood to the side, watching them all with tears in her eyes. They weren't her biological family, but they loved her like one. "Thank you, all of you," she whispered, overwhelmed. "Why are you crying, sweetheart? Are you in pain?" Josephine asked, hurrying over. "Are you going into labor?" Saya and Neo added, panicking. "Relax, she's only 5 months along." Carl laughed. Bella wiped her tears. "I'm just happy. When my aunt kicked me out, I thought my life was over. I never thought I'd feel happiness again. I'm so lucky I met all of you." Josephine hugged her tightly. "You don't have to thank us, sweetheart. We're just as happy to have you. I already think of you as a daughter, and I can't wait to be a grandma." "She's been dreaming about grandkids for years," Neo said. "None of us are ready for kids, so I guess Bella gets to fulfill that dream." "Really?" Bella asked, touched. "Yes, sweetheart," Josephine said. "I've been waiting for this for so long." "Now let's eat before the food gets cold," she added. The room buzzed with laughter and conversation. Though Bella was still haunted by questions about her baby's father, she pushed them aside and enjoyed the moment. That night, long after everyone had gone to bed, Bella remained awake. She couldn't stop thinking about Kian and how he brought Jane with him today. It hurt more than she expected. "Why do I feel this way?" she wondered. "I don't have the right to be jealous. He's not mine." She lay on her bed, restless. The urge to pee and a sudden thirst finally pushed her to get up. It was already 1 a.m., and she figured everyone else would be asleep. She quietly made her way down the stairs to the bathroom, relieved herself, then walked to the kitchen for water. As she drank, she sensed a presence behind her. She turned slowly, and there was Kian, shirtless, hair messy, clearly just woken up. "What are you doing here?" he asked, yawning. "I just came to get some water," Bella answered, startled. "What's the gender of your babies?" he asked. Bella began to walk away. "Didn't you hear earlier?" "If I did, would I be asking?" he replied sarcastically, making her roll her eyes. "They're twins," she muttered, "a girl and a boy." She turned to leave, but something caught her eye. Kian was still facing away, and there it was, a dragon tattoo etched across his upper back. Bella froze. That tattoo. A memory slammed into her. That night, the stranger she slept with, when he took off his shirt, she saw that same dragon tattoo. Her legs went weak. No way. That's the same tattoo, exactly the same. It can't be. But what if it is? Kian was the only man she had ever been with. Her virginity, the baby. He's the only one who could be the father, she thought, heart pounding. Could it really be him? Suddenly he turned. Bella, something wrong? She jumped. No, sorry, I'm going back to my room. She hurried away without another word. Lying in bed, her heart raced. If Kian really is the father, how do I tell him? How do I even face him? He has a girlfriend. He doesn't even like me. He might just throw me out. But still, I love him. I admire him, even if I know we'll never be something. Her eyes stung with tears as she whispered to herself, There's no chance he'll ever love someone like me. Just then, a knock came at her door. Bella, are you okay? Kian's voice came through. Startled, she wiped her tears. I'm fine. I was just about to sleep. Oh, sorry, he replied. Good night. He walked away. Bella closed her eyes and whispered, What am I supposed to do now? From that moment on, she started avoiding him. Whenever their paths crossed in the hallway or kitchen, she turned the other way. She wouldn't meet his eyes. She barely spoke. Kian noticed. At first, he brushed it off, but soon it started to irritate him. He didn't know why, but the distance bothered him more than it should have. One evening, Bella went to the kitchen for a glass of milk before bed. As she sipped, Kian walked in. She immediately turned to leave, but he stepped in front of her, blocking her way. What do you need? She asked, avoiding his gaze and holding her belly protectively. Am I imagining it, or are you avoiding me? He asked, eyes narrowing. I'm not avoiding you. It's just your imagination, she said quickly. She tried to step around him, but he grabbed her arm gently. Did I do something wrong? Is there a problem? Are you hiding something from me? Bella's heart pounded. She couldn't think straight. You didn't do anything. There's no problem. This is just how I am, she said nervously. And no, I'm not hiding anything. I just want to go back to my room now, please. He didn't move for a moment. He was sure she was lying, but he let her go. As she left, Kian leaned on the counter, confused and agitated. Why is she always on my mind? Why can't I stop thinking about her? He thought. Something's not right. She's definitely hiding something, and I'm going to find out what it is. The next morning, the mansion was abuzz with activity. Josephine had woken up early to prepare for the arrival of her nieces and nephews from abroad. It had been nearly 3 years since their last visit, and she wanted everything to be perfect. Is all the food ready? She asked the staff while arranging the plates. Venice messaged me. They're almost here. Why do you even have to go all out like this? Kian muttered, walking out of his room with a scowl. They could have just ordered takeout. They hardly come here. Don't start complaining, Josephine shot back. Kian rolled his eyes and sank into the couch. Moments later, the guests arrived. Venice, Vincent, Mark, I've missed you all. Josephine beamed, pulling them into hugs as they entered. We missed you too, Aunt Jo, Vincent said, hugging her tightly. Neo entered the room and smiled when he saw his cousins. Hey, you guys are here. Good to see you. Kian, on the other hand, kept his distance and sat across the room, silent. While they settled in, Vincent caught sight of Bella descending the staircase. He rushed over, alarmed by the sight of her carefully stepping down. Whoa there! Be careful! It's dangerous to walk downstairs alone while pregnant, he said, offering his hand to help her down. Bella smiled softly. Thank you. Wow, she's beautiful, Vincent whispered to himself. So, whose baby is she carrying? Carl's? Neo's? No, sweetheart, Josephine answered with a chuckle. Not theirs. Wait, is it Kian's? Venice teased. No way, right? Kian stayed silent, pretending not to hear, though his eyes were locked on Vincent's hand, still resting gently on Bella's lower back. His jaw clenched. Carl smirked as he noticed. Aren't they cute together, Mom? They kinda look like a couple. They really do, Josephine agreed. It's like Vincent is taking care of his pregnant wife, Mark added. They're like a perfect little family, Venice chimed in. Yeah, what if Vincent ends up falling for Bella and they get married? Neo said. Okay, can you all just shut up? Kian suddenly shouted, slamming his hand on the table. Everyone turned toward him, startled. Even Bella and Vincent looked over. They don't look good together. Perfect family. Yeah, right, Kian muttered, before storming off to his room and slamming the door. He's jealous, Venice whispered, grinning. Totally. He always gets mad when someone touches Bella, Carl added. But seriously, Mark said, who's the father of Bella's babies? You'll all find out soon, Josephine said with a knowing smile. Let's just give them time. Wait, you already know? Neo asked in surprise. Josephine winked. Why does that surprise you? Of course Mom knows, Carl said, laughing. She knows everything. Bella walked over, looking worried. What was that about earlier? Is Kian okay? Oh, he's always like that, Josephine replied casually. Don't worry about him. Let's eat before the food gets cold, she added. Everyone moved to the dining table. Bella sat quietly, still wondering why Kian had acted like that. But instead of letting it get to her, she focused on her meal, for her sake, and for her babies. As the days passed, Bella began noticing Kian's increasingly short temper. Every time he saw her talking with Vincent, he would scowl or walk away in frustration. Josephine had asked her nephews to stay at the mansion until her birthday, so Vincent was always around, and that only made Kian more agitated. The way Vincent hovered near Bella, offering to help her stand, grabbing things for her, or simply keeping her company, irked Kian to no end. Midnight came, and while the entire mansion was asleep, Bella remained on the couch, awake and anxious. Earlier that day, she and Kian had argued. Why the hell did he hug you? Kian had burst into her room, eyes wild. There's nothing going on between us. Why are you so angry? Bella had shot back. Nothing. Then why are you letting him wrap his arms around you like that? Kian had barked. Bella had pulled her arm from his grip. Why are you acting like this? You're not my boyfriend or my husband. You have no right to tell me what to do. Kian had fallen silent at her words, clearly stung. Now, sitting on the couch, Bella regretted yelling at him. She had seen the pain in his eyes, and though she didn't understand it fully, it haunted her. She was about to fall asleep when she heard a car pull up. Kian, he hadn't come home since their fight. As soon as the front door opened, she rushed over to greet him. He stumbled in, drunk. She opened the door and found him trying to walk past her without a word. Kian, she called. He paused, looked at her coldly. What do you want? And why the hell are you still awake? It's late. I was waiting for you, she said softly. He narrowed his eyes. Why? You're not my wife or girlfriend. Bella swallowed the lump in her throat. I wanted to say sorry for what I said earlier. I let my emotions get the better of me. Kian looked stunned as tears welled up in her eyes again. Why are you crying now? I didn't even do anything, he murmured, stepping closer and gently wiping her cheeks. Are you mad at me? He asked, his tone suddenly warm. Bella stared at him. He cupped her cheek and said, Why would I be mad? You're carrying my future niece and nephew. Then he leaned forward and kissed her forehead. He kissed me. But why? Bella thought, frozen. I yelled at you too. I'm sorry, Kian said with a sheepish smile. I was just jealous, okay? I couldn't help it. Then he leaned down and kissed her cheek. Bella's heart raced uncontrollably. I'm sorry too, she whispered. Kian pulled her into a hug. Let's sleep. It's late and you need rest. As they walked up the stairs, he suddenly stopped and wrapped his arms around her from behind, burying his face in her neck. Let's sleep together tonight, Bella. I want to hold you. Bella's eyes widened, Sleep together? What does he mean? She wondered. She turned to face him. You won't be able to sleep next to me. I'll take up the whole bed. I don't care. I don't even need the bed. I just want to make sure you're safe tonight. I want to watch your face while you sleep. He pressed a kiss to her neck. Bella was about to object, but he beat her to it. No buts. You need rest. With no other words, she followed him to his room. Kian helped her into bed, tucked her in, and sat down beside her. Aren't you going to sleep too? Bella asked. I will, just waiting for an important call, he replied, smiling. She nodded and closed her eyes. Within 10 minutes, she was fast asleep. Kian watched her for a while, then finally answered a call. How's the investigation? He asked. Sir, said the private investigator, it's confirmed. The woman you've been looking for, the one from the bar that night, it's her, Bella. We reviewed the security footage. It's definitely her. Kian smiled. So I was right. That's why her face felt so familiar to me. Yes, sir. And since she's pregnant, the child is yours. Congratulations. Kian stared down at Bella, asleep beside him, and whispered, Thank you, Rendor. I'll send your payment. He ended the call and gently brushed his hand along Bella's arm, then kissed her forehead. I can't believe you were right here all along. I went crazy trying to find you. You didn't even give me your name that night. He whispered, half laughing. I regret everything I said and did to hurt you. I love you, Bella. I really do. He leaned down and kissed her lips. Just as Kian pulled away from the kiss, a voice spoke from the doorway. So, you finally figured it out, Josephine said softly, stepping inside. Kian's eyes widened. Mum, you knew? Josephine nodded and walked toward them. Of course I knew. I'm your mother. I've known since the beginning that you're the father of Bella's babies. You really knew the whole time? Kian asked in disbelief. Yes, and now that you know too, it's time to do the right thing, Josephine said gently. Bella deserves happiness. She's been through enough. Be the man she and those babies need. I will, Mom. I plan to marry her, Kian said, taking Bella's hand in his. Now I understand why I was so jealous every time I saw her with someone else. It's because I love her. I really do. Josephine smiled warmly. I didn't think I'd see the day when you, of all people, would fall in love. You always said love was a waste of time. You never wanted anything serious, just flings and no strings. Kian chuckled. I used to believe that. But now, I don't want to lose her. I want her with me forever. Josephine sat beside him. You remind me of your father. He was the same way, stubborn, proud, but when he fell in love, he gave his whole heart. You're saying both Dad and Uncle Alvin were in love with you? Kian asked, surprised. Yes, Josephine admitted, but I chose your father. He's the one I fell for, and even though he's gone now, I still love him with all my heart. Kian smiled. Don't worry, Mom. Even though Dad's gone, you'll have another reason to smile. Our babies. Josephine beamed. So, when are you going to tell Bella the truth? I'm guessing she still doesn't know you know. I don't think she knows I'm the reason she got kicked out by her aunt, Kian said, lowering his gaze. What if she hates me for it? She won't, Josephine said softly. She loves you. I can see it. I hope you're right, Kian whispered. Later that night, Josephine left the room, giving them space. Kian lay beside Bella and kissed her forehead and lips before closing his eyes. The next morning, Bella woke up feeling the warmth of sunlight on her face, and something else, an arm wrapped tightly around her. She opened her eyes and found herself still in Kian's bed. Good morning, he whispered, with a soft smile. Good morning, Bella replied shyly, still not used to waking up beside him. Mum said breakfast's ready. Come on, let's eat, he said, standing up and offering her a hand. She accepted, but as she reached for the doorknob, he stopped her and gently held her chin, guiding her face toward his. Kian kissed her. Bella froze. He kissed me again, she thought, heart pounding. When he pulled away, he grinned at her stunned expression and opened the door. Everyone in the living room looked up as they stepped out together. A heavy silence fell. Venice's jaw dropped. Wait, did you two come out of the same room? Bella's face turned bright red. What are you all looking at? Kian asked, unfazed. Oh my God, are you two a couple now? Venice asked, bouncing in excitement. And what if we are? Kian replied with a smirk. You're serious? Vincent asked, shocked. Yes, Kian answered confidently. Bella lowered her head, cheeks burning with embarrassment. But wait, Venice said. What about the baby's father? What if he comes back? What are you going to do then? Everyone turned toward Bella. What do you mean? Kian asked. I'm the father of Bella's babies. Complete silence. Everyone's eyes widened. Bella froze. How does he know? She thought. She was planning to tell him eventually, but now he'd beaten her to it. You already know? She asked. Yes, and you know I'm the father too? Kian replied. She nodded slowly. Then that's why you've been avoiding me, he said, his eyes narrowing. You wouldn't look me in the eye. You ran away every time we crossed paths. It wasn't just that, Bella said softly. You have a girlfriend. I didn't want to get in the way. I didn't want to ruin anything. Kian let out a dry laugh. Jane, she was just a fling. She's not important. Then he reached out, cupping Bella's face, and said clearly, I love you, Bella. I kept denying it to myself, but now I can't. You always made me jealous, especially with Vincent, and I hated seeing you smile at someone else. He pulled her into a tight hug. Saya, Carl, and Venice squealed in excitement. Can we get some respect here for the single people in the room? Carl yelled jokingly. Yeah, seriously, not all of us are in relationships, Neo added. Maybe you guys should start dating already, Josephine teased, laughing with the rest. Bella looked up at Kian, her heart pounding. I love you too, Kian. Kian blushed at her words. Weeks passed after Bella and Kian confessed their love. Bella was now 8 months pregnant, and excitement filled the mansion. Everyone eagerly awaited the arrival of the twins. Since their confession, Kian had been incredibly attentive. Even with his busy schedule, he made time for Bella every day, bringing her food, helping her to bed, and waking up in the middle of the night whenever she craved something. One afternoon, they were out shopping for groceries together. As Bella wandered near the ice cream section, she suddenly froze. Standing there was her aunt and her cousin, Tiffany. Well, well, look who it is, Tiffany sneered. Mom, it's your trashy niece. What are you doing here, Bella? Her aunt said mockingly. Don't tell me you're here to steal food. Bella's stomach twisted, but she stood her ground. I'm here to buy food, just like everyone else. Her aunt narrowed her eyes. Really? Living on the streets treating you well these days? Tiffany shoved Bella slightly, not enough to hurt, but enough to humiliate. You deserve to live on the streets, just like your mother, her aunt said cruelly. Because of what she did to me, now it's your turn to suffer. Bella's eyes burned. What are you talking about? Why do you hate my mom so much? What did she do to you? You really want to know? Her aunt snapped. She stole the man I loved. Your mother always had to take everything from me. She took Berto. He was supposed to be mine. Bella's eyes widened. Berto. My father? She clenched her fists. So because of that, you said all those horrible things about her. About me? You're the one with no heart. Tiffany shoved her again, harder this time. Bella nearly lost her balance, but suddenly, strong arms caught her. It was Kian. "What the hell are you doing?" he barked at Tiffany. "Are you insane? She's pregnant." People nearby stopped to stare. "Who do you think you are?" Tiffany screamed back. "I'm her boyfriend, and the father of her children," Kian growled. "She's pregnant with my kids, and you just pushed her. What if she got hurt? What if something happened to the babies?" Whispers spread through the crowd. "That woman just pushed a pregnant girl. She's out of her mind." "Security, get them out of here," someone said. The store guard stepped forward, ready to escort Tiffany and her mother out. "I don't care what either of you say," Bella added firmly. "Honestly, I'm grateful you kicked me out. My life turned out better because of it." With that, Tiffany and her aunt were removed from the store. "You okay, love?" Kian asked, gently brushing her hair back. "I'm fine," Bella said. "Let's keep shopping." "Oh, by the way, I'm out of lychees." Kian laughed. "All right, we'll stock up." That night, Bella stood in front of the mirror, watching her belly move. "I can't wait to meet our babies," she whispered. Kian wrapped his arms around her from behind. "Me too. I still can't believe I'm going to be a dad." Just then, he felt a soft kick. "Did you feel that?" he gasped. "They're saying they love us," Bella said with a teary smile. He bent down and kissed her belly. "I love you too." Bella turned to him. "Can I ask you something? But answer honestly." "Anything," Kian said. "If I wasn't pregnant, would you still have fallen for me?" Kian didn't hesitate. "Yes, and if you weren't, I would have made sure you were, so you could never leave me." Bella laughed. "You're insane." "But serious," he added. "I'd love you either way." He kissed her again, careful not to press against her stomach. "I love you too, Kian Fernandez," she whispered. The next morning, Kian invited Bella out on a date. He made it sound casual, but deep down, he had bigger plans. He wanted to propose. He was determined to make Bella his, completely and officially. The thought of anyone else taking her away made him anxious. This wasn't just a date, it was a promise. Bella happily agreed, excited to finally spend time with Kian outside the house. He took her to his favorite restaurant, one he had never brought anyone else to. While they sat at their table, browsing the menu, Kian said, "You know, you're the first woman I've ever brought here. Not even my mum has eaten in this place." Bella smiled, touched by his words. While they waited for their food, Kian excused himself to the bathroom. But when he stepped out, he unexpectedly came face to face with Jane. "What are you doing here?" he asked coldly. Jane threw her arms around him. "I missed you so much, babe. It's been a while." Kian immediately pulled away. "Don't touch me. You're not my girlfriend. Don't talk to me." Jane clung to his arm. "You used to be sweet to me. I wasn't your girlfriend then either. What changed?" "You know exactly what. You had other men while flirting with me. I don't have time for your games." Jane's expression hardened. "It's because of her, isn't it? The woman you're with tonight, she's the reason you dumped me." "Yes, she's the woman I love, and she's carrying our children. So stop trying to play games and stay out of my life." He turned to walk away, but Jane grabbed him again and pulled him into a kiss. It was just a second, but it was long enough. Bella had just left their table to check on him and caught sight of the kiss. Her heart broke. Kian pulled away from Jane, disgusted. "What the hell are you doing?" But Bella had already seen enough. Her eyes filled with tears as she turned and walked away. "Bella, wait!" Kian called out, chasing after her. He stopped only to toss some bills on the counter to pay, then sprinted after her. He finally caught up and gently grabbed her arm. "It's not what you think," he pleaded. "I didn't kiss her. She forced herself on me. I didn't know she would be there." Bella tried to hold back her tears. "Then why didn't you push her away sooner? You could have stopped her." "I swear I didn't want it." I was just as shocked as you are. Please believe me, Bella. I love you. She turned away. You used to be sweet to her too, didn't you? Kian's eyes filled with regret. Yes, but I don't care about her anymore. I care about you. I love you. You're the only one I want. He cupped her face as his own tears began to fall. Please believe me. Bella looked into his eyes, still unsure. Promise me it won't happen again. I promise, he whispered. She means nothing to me. She just wanted to ruin what we have. Bella finally relaxed into his embrace. Okay, I'm not mad anymore. Kian exhaled in relief and handed her a tissue. Bella giggled slightly as she wiped her eyes. Thanks. He laughed gently. You still trust me? She nodded. Then let me show you how serious I am. Kian dropped to one knee and pulled a small box from his pocket. Bella gasped. Will you marry me, Bella? I want to make sure you're mine forever. Tears spilled down her cheeks as she smiled and whispered, Yes, Kian, I'll marry you. He slid the ring onto her finger and stood, pulling her into a kiss. I love you so much, he whispered. I love you too, she replied. When they returned home, Josephine and the others were thrilled. They even threw a small celebration that night. I can't believe one of my kids is actually getting married, Josephine exclaimed. You proposed so fast, she teased Kian. Afraid someone would snatch her from you. Exactly, Kian grinned. I know what I've got, and I'm not letting her go. Bella laughed. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. I'm already pregnant, remember? The others laughed along. I remember the way he used to glare at me when I touched you, Vincent joked, smirking at Kian. Neo chimed in. Yeah, that's Kian when he's jealous. Everyone burst into laughter again. 2 years later, Kian and Bella were married. Their twins, a boy and a girl, were now toddlers. They had named them Kira and Kel. One afternoon, as Kian was getting dressed and Bella was folding laundry, he suddenly said, Hey, love, I think I want another baby. Bella's jaw dropped. What? Where did that come from? He pouted playfully. Come on, Kyra and Kel need a baby brother or sister. Are you serious right now? She asked. Completely. That night, Kian and Bella made love again, laughing through whispered promises. In the middle of their intimacy, Bella warned, Careful, the kids might wake up. Just trust me, Kian murmured. You always smell so good. A month later, Bella noticed she was exhausted all the time. The twins' 3rd birthday was coming up, and she was planning a party, but something felt different. She and Kian sat down to finalize the plans when Kira and Kel came running in. Mommy, they yelled, wrapping their arms around her. You're home already? Bella smiled. Yep, Uncle Neo and Aunt Saya took us to the park. Kian knelt beside them. Hey, are you too excited for your birthday? Yes, they chorused. So what do you want for your gift? He asked. Kel and Kira looked at each other, then said, A baby sibling. Bella blinked. A baby doll? Or a real baby? A real baby, Kira said. We want someone to play with. Kian chuckled. That's the sweetest gift request ever. He turned to Bella with a smirk. Guess it's time for more sexy time. She rolled her eyes. You're ridiculous. But that night, they got ready once again. Just as Kian was about to undress her, Bella suddenly rushed to the bathroom and threw up. Alarmed, he followed her. You okay, love? Was it something I ate? My breath? She waved him off. No, I just feel dizzy. She rinsed her mouth, and as she stepped back, the world spun. She nearly fainted, until Kian caught her. Doctor, he called. Later, as the doctor examined her, Kian explained everything. Well, sir, the doctor said, it sounds like your wife may be pregnant. Pregnant? Kian's eyes widened. To be sure, we'll run a test, the doctor said. Moments later, Bella emerged from the bathroom, holding the test. 2 lines. "I'm pregnant," she whispered, stunned. Then she beamed. "Kian, I'm pregnant again." Kian lifted her into his arms, grinning. "Congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Fernandez," the doctor said. "Your family's growing." As Kian and Bella embraced, he whispered, "I love you, Bella." "I love you too, Kian." Their love had started from something unexpected, but it became something real, something strong, something only they could share, and that brings us to the end of this wonderful story. Like and comment below for more of these. This is Mr. Hope. I adore you all.